Speculation is swirling about whether Michelle Obama could potentially replace Joe Biden as the Democratic candidate for the presidency, as reported by Der Spiegel. While some view this as mere sensationalism, the fact that such discussions are taking place in a reputable publication indicates its significance. Allegedly, the Democratic Party has initiated polls to gauge public opinion on Obama's potential candidacy. Former Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy has echoed similar sentiments, suggesting that Democrats might pivot away from Biden in favor of Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama has previously stated her aversion to politics, describing it as a contentious field. However, in the current landscape, where there's a growing demand in the US for candidates outside the traditional political establishment, exemplified by figures like Donald Trump, her reluctance towards politics could actually work in her favor. If Americans are disillusioned with career politicians and entrenched parties controlling Washington, offering them a candidate who doesn't identify as a typical politician could be appealing. For instance, she could frame her decision to enter the political arena as a moral imperative, driven by the need to counter what she sees as the threat posed by Trump to democracy and the nation's integrity. This sentiment echoes prevalent criticisms of Trump in contemporary American media. Furthermore, Michelle Obama's association with the perceived success of her husband's presidency could enhance her appeal to voters nostalgic for the Obama era. Currently, the Democratic Party faces a challenging situation. Recent polls suggest that in the upcoming November presidential election, Biden is expected to receive 43% of the vote, trailing behind Trump, who is projected to secure 49%. Additionally, both Biden and Trump have high unfavorability ratings among anti-Republican voters, nearing 60%. Without changing their candidate, Democrats risk significant defeat. Biden, aged 82, is facing considerable unpopularity. Many Americans are hesitant to trust someone of his age and perceived condition to lead the country. His occasional confusion, such as mistaking Egypt for Brazil, further undermines his appeal, even against a 77-year-old Trump. While Trump himself is deeply unpopular, plagued by various scandals and facing legal challenges, including sedition charges, he doesn't exhibit the same level of cognitive lapses as Biden. It's notable to reflect on the possibility that the upcoming presidential election might feature two of the most widely unpopular candidates in US electoral history. Over 60% of Americans, according to opinion polls, believe Biden is too old to lead America. But Trump's age also raises concerns, as does his turbulent biography. The very fact of such elections looks like a deep crisis of the American socio-political system. Today, the prevailing question on everyone's mind is how, in a country as vast as the United States, boasting a population of 330 million and renowned for its advanced technology, science, industry, and universities, no alternative candidates emerged. Isn't there a pivotal moment when we must address and repair a broken system? Moreover, Donald Trump's rise to power in the United States is unacceptable not only to Democrats, but also to a large part of Republican politicians and experts. He is trying to destroy the entire architecture of international politics that America has built up since the end of the Second World War. Trump is an opponent of NATO and advocates its abolition. Even if he does not take that step, the very fact of his administration will destroy allies' confidence in US policy. And if Biden can't stop him, why should the Democrats nominate him? Perhaps today we'll see a pro- and anti-Biden battle in the Democratic Party. It is not common in the United States to bet on a loser. As a result, one can make various assumptions about the motives of the politicians interested in Biden's candidacy, and they are all rather gloomy. One theory is that Biden was initially seen as a one-term candidate, but surprised his colleagues by asking for a second term, and that no one dared say no to the incumbent US president. Much like their Republican counterparts, the Democratic Party often functions as a coalition of lobbyists representing various corporate interests. While some Democratic Party leaders want to preserve Biden's candidacy at all costs, even despite the high risk of defeat, their colleagues may have a different opinion. After all, big business pays politicians to provide for their promotions and campaigns in hopes of winning and getting convenient laws and government contracts, not for politicians to let elections and lobbyists' money go to waste. For now, however, the Democrats are heading toward political suicide by insisting on Biden. Although they may secure victories in congressional elections, especially given the unpopularity of Republican anti-abortion stances among most Americans, the path to securing the presidency remains uncertain.